Hey there, esports fans, and welcome back to another episode of College Esports Now. I'm your co-host, Katie Scott, and for today's episode, we are recording live in the ESTV Esports TV studio in Los Angeles. We are so excited to present to you the latest and the greatest esports news and highlights from our partner conferences in college esports. Let's go over to my co-host, Polly Hype, who will be going through this week's highlights. Handing it over to you, Polly.
Thank you so much, Katie. I'm Paulie Hype, and I'm here with the ECAC Week 5 Collegiate Esports Landscape Breakdown. Let's get into some Super Smash Bros. Action from ECAC Week 5, Dallas Baptist University versus Juanita College. Juanita College came out ready to play for this match, immediately showing that playing into the mismatch of Wii Fit Trainer versus Ridley would go down in their favor with the pure speed and agility of Wii Fit Trainer. Game 1 went by in a breeze with 5 stocks taken by Hops on Wii Fit and 4 by Hollow on Ridley. Game 2, however, looked to be going in favor of Dallas Baptist, with them starting off strong with Conk on Joker, taking 4 stocks, but Hollow's Ridley was no match for DBU, taking 6 stocks, finally falling to the Mirror Ridley. Mini XO, also on Ridley, was left with the monumental task to not only win the Ridley Mirror matchup, but also take down the player that no one had seen in Game 1, Fry and his Mewtwo pick. Though a very close set of stocks, Fry was able to secure the game and the series for Juanita College. Coming up next is St. John's University versus Benedictine University. What do you get when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object? You get 2 undefeated juggernauts. St. John's and Benedictine University meeting in Week 5 of the ECAC. Despite the 2-0 scoreline, both games went down to the last stocks on the last players, leading off to an insanely tense standoff. In Game 1, Alola Mola took his Joker to take out Gamma Steve that was proving to be a threat to St. John's. The final battle of Game 2 saw Alola Mola come back as the anchor to face Monum in a Sephiroth mirror match that left viewers awestruck. Both teams performed to the best of their abilities, but only one squad could remain undefeated. That team would be St. John's University. Coming up next is Rainbow Six with Wayne State College versus SUNY Canton. Both teams entered 3-1 on the season, but only one was able to be victorious in this matchup. The match started as even as any could imagine, with Wayne State scraping by to get a 4-2 lead at the half. By taking the next round, it left SUNY Canton with the comeback challenge, and they took it, bringing it back to a 5-4 game, but that was all they can get, leaving Wayne State winning 7-4 on Map 1. Heading into Map 2, everything felt very much like the last, heading into the half with Wayne State up 4-2, but this time they weren't going to give Canton a chance to come back at all, ending the game at 7-3 and the 2-0 for Wayne State College. Coming up next is Valorant, Missouri Baptist University versus Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute. Both teams went into this match at a 3-1 scoreline, and both MBU and RPI went to war on map number 1. MBU had an early lead on Haven, but Rensselaer swung back at their enemies, making the game go to triple overtime. Sadly, it wasn't enough as MBU took Haven 16-14. Over to map number 2 on Ascent did knock it off to a great start for RPI as MBU's Trevi gets a 4K on the opening round. Moses and RPI tried to hold off the war as long as possible, but it ended up as 13-5 win in favor of MBU. Next up for Valorant is Muskingum University versus St. Francis University. ECAC and Chambers being the top frag, can you even name a more iconic duo? Mako and St. Francis came out swinging against Muskingum, but only losing 5 rounds on each map. Mako was consistently getting 20+ kills on both Icebox and Pearl. Not to say that the rest of the SFU squad weren't doing anything. Each member had 10+ kills on each map as well, a total team effort. When you hear the tour de force come out from his chamber, I would definitely be wary when Mako's trying to peek some corners. Next up is Overwatch 2. Army West Point Esports versus University of South Carolina Sumter. You simply could not imagine a better comeback story to be written for a team, but in the match between Army West Point and USC Sumter, Army West Point proved that miracles can happen and you never stop fighting until the match is over. Down 1-2, Army West Point were on the brink of falling to USC Sumter, who opened up with a strong performance led by their tank, Patient. They weren't done yet. Overtime on Esperanza, Army West Point managed to take the payload the entire length of the push map and win in an exciting 4-minute overtime. And with that, push themselves to map 5, take the momentum, allowing them to stand above the rest and take down USC Sumter in a nail-biting reverse sweep. Next up in Overwatch 2 is University at Albany versus Wayne State College. ECAC Overwatch is only in week 3, but UAlbany is proving to be a top dog in the standings after taking Wayne State College in a 3-0 fashion. Wayne State was barely able to get a point until map 3, but the fast-paced playstyle of UAlbany was too much for them. A lot of Genjis can be 50-50 in playstyle, but not Ski's Genji, as he was able to secure several team kills with the usage of his ultimate Dragon Blade. The season is already halfway done, but the question still has to be asked: who can defeat University at Albany? Next up is Rocket League, Keene University versus Wayne State College. Wayne State has proven that they are one of the top contenders when it comes to Rocket League as well this semester, maintaining their undefeated record in dominant fashion. Unfortunately, Icy, one of their main players, was not able to play today, but his substitute, Bad News, was making a lot of shots on Keene's goals and supporting his teammates, Amatsugashi and Flush. Speaking of Amatsugashi, this player was one of the frontrunners for scoring goals and maintaining the ball on Keene's side of the field. We have to wait to see if Wayne State College can keep up the undefeated streak, or will their aggression be their downfall for the remainder of the season. Now over to the Esports U Campus Cup featuring Fortnite East Region Heat number 3. With an adjusted tournament style, we saw a 5-round point of interest battle between 3 different teams, all of them duking it out for the highest amount of eliminations by the end of the game. With an exciting set of rounds, we saw a new champion rise to the top again, with Big Riv and Tiki claiming names at each and every POI we ended up at. We ended the night with just 1 kill separating first place and the other 2 teams, and Big Riv and Tiki held on to the lead they had from the first round and on, dominating East week number 3. Now over to the Great Lakes Esports Conference for some week 9 coverage, starting with Valorant, Mount Vernon Nazarene University versus Baldwin Wallace University. A statement series coming out from Mount Vernon Nazarene University to cement themselves in the top half of the standings of the GLEC. From the get-go, the MV squad was very aggressive on the attacking side, especially with half of their team getting really great flanks. Once the sides flipped, MVNU's defense was also solid from player Nami, with the operator, or his tour de force, was a force itself to be reckoned with. Time will only tell if this 5th seed can make it onto the GLEC top 4. Now let's head over to the NJC AAE for their week 4 coverage of Valorant, Suffolk Community College versus Westchester Community College. 2 undefeated teams met in the 4th round, and both juggernauts went the distance to prove they deserve the top spot in the NJC AAE. Westchester came out swinging on Fracture by unleashing Sopa and Fresh Prince on the iconic Fade and Breach duo that shook Suffolk. Just like his namesake, Nar and Suffolk Community College transformed on map 2 and challenged Westchester's aggression, taking the series to match point. Bind. Fun fact: Suffolk ran the same comp on all 3 maps, which showed that the determination, practice, and comfort can defeat even the hardest of opponents. Thank you so much, Katie. Like always, I'm Paulie Hype, and I'm here with the biggest, best, and newest collegiate esports divisions, standings, and matchups. Let's get right into it.
All right, guys, I'm here with Imminent, a player from the University of Oregon. And first off, I want to say congratulations on a big dub tonight. You know, like, you guys look great. And, you guys swept University of Carolina. How did you guys feel after that game?
That was definitely our hardest match, besides Northwood, I would say, in this league. We didn't expect them to be that solid. They were pretty good. I was a little nervous there in some parts of those games, but Yeah, I think it went pretty well. Yeah, we were feeling really good. I think we're just playing really solid today. We got a CRL match later tonight, and we're just trying to get ready for that. So we've been scrimming a lot, at least today, and a few times this week. So yeah, we felt pretty good.
Yeah, all is well there, and that first game went into overtime. At some point, did you ever doubt that you guys were gonna win, or were you that confident?
No, I mean I was pretty confident. I was only a little nervous when we were down by one, like pretty easily. But I mean, those were just, I think it was just like kickoff goals that they scored. I'm trying to
Mhm.
remember, at least in one of those games. So I was pretty confident. We were playing really well. I think when we're playing that solid and we're definitely pretty clutch. I mean, we always like in Zero, yeah, we reverse sweep our matches and we've won like 4 or 5 out of 6 game fives. So I think, yeah, I was pretty confident.
Yeah, that's good. In the second game, they score a kickoff goal in like the first few seconds. Like, how do you guys manage to keep calm during the entire game and like climb
Uh,
back from that deficit?
Yeah, I mean, you always have, you have the rest of the game, right? So it's only, I mean, it's fine. It happens a lot. It happens too much where we get kickoff goal on, or people score kickoff goals on us. We need to fix that. So we're working on it. But you have the rest of the game, and it's not, we just just say on the lock in, we're all good. So yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I just want to say congratulations on a big dub tonight, and looking forward to see you guys play in the next week or the weeks after that.
All right, cool. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Thank
Yep.
you.
Hey there, esports fans. I'm Katie Scott, and I am so excited to be here in the ESTV Esports TV studio with special guest Brock Vereen. How you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful. Happy to be here. Been watching what you and Paulie have been doing. Now I get to be part of it. This is great.
Well, I'm so excited that you're here with us today. So tell us, you've had an amazing career in the NFL, commentating, and also in esports. What led you down this path?
It was honestly inevitable. What I always tell people is in any locker room, no matter what sport, when you're not watching film, when you're not lifting, when you're not training, you're just playing video games. That's all guys do, especially on the road when you're in a hotel. If you have a game the next day, you can't, go out and run around the town or anything. So guys just play video games. So when the playing days were over, me and my brother, we've always been playing games from when we were kids. The opportunity came along to start a network, and it was a no-brainer.
So what do you see the biggest difference between esports and NFL?
The craziest thing is it's just competition at the end of the day. Do you want to win or not? And how badly do you want to win? Now, is it less physical than hockey or basketball or football? Sure. But at the end of the day, it's competition. And the training that these guys put in, the focus that these women put in, it is incredible, and it is just like any traditional sport. And I also feel that's why traditional athletes naturally gravitate to esports when they're done. You still get the same rush, you're just less sore the next day.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, the esports industry is looking so bright. I know that we've reported on a ton of stories and opportunities for students, women. So, what do you see the foreseeable future looks like for the esports industry?
It's going to keep growing. Right now, it's a normal thing for kids to get scholarships. You see how much prize money is out there for professionals. You got kids traveling the world, and it's only going to continue growing. If you look at any traditional sport, it's kind of hard to compare. The only thing you can compare to is the Olympics, because there's so many different games. Now, are some games bigger than others? Sure. Are some games more social and entertainment than actual competition? Sure. But at the end of the day, the only thing I can compare it to is the Olympics, because it's so diverse.
Absolutely. I mean, the competitions get so intense. I know the League of Legends competitions, they're insane. They're insane to watch. So, Brock, tell us a little bit. I know you play a little bit yourself. Tell us what you like to play.
I always say I play everything, but I'm good at one thing, and that's Warzone. But Madden, 2K, NHL, any sports game, I grew up playing much more than just football. I grew up playing everything, so there's always that want to play those games. But it's all about Warzone for me. When I get home from work, I'm hitting the group chat. It's all about Warzone. FIFA as well. My brother likes to say he's the best FIFA player. It's me, and there's no denying that.